Hello friends, welcome to my channel FinTech Logics. So today we'll talk about security in digital payments. Now this is the third part. We have already covered about payment processing and reconciliation. If you have not seen that, I'll provide the link here. Please have a look. So coming to the topic of our discussion about security in our payments. So primarily, if I simplify that, so there are three facets in which security is working. So first one is how do we create an instrument correctly? How do we pass that over multiple uh, stakeholders to the correct recipient so that it can be processed? And the third thing is about how do we control leakage of data flowing through some unintended audience. So how do you have data privacy? So these are the three facets on which the entire security framework is built. So let's look at our security aspect one by one. So where all I have not covered all the facets, so let's look at the most important pieces of work that is happening at this point of time. So the first one in this is SSL, or a secure socket layer. So in short, your secure socket layer forms a link between your customer's browser or the app and the web browser where the processing is happening. So it encrypts the data in the entire flow so that the data leakage can uh, can be avoided and only the destination can decode the data, right? The second one is about PCI compliances. So now every payment system now follows strict PCI guidelines, so wherein none of the card or account information can be stored in the intermittent layers. So if it passes from your point number 1 to point number 5, so in 2 3 4 layers, the PCI compliance restricts storing of any information. So that is where customers data becomes secure. Now the third one in this is digital signatures and customer authentication. So this is where for every transaction now your payment layers enables taking customers consent and digital signature so that it can be authenticated and your fraudulent transactions can be avoided. The next one is about tokenization. So this is probably the most intelligent and developed piece that is changing the game of API banking or open banking. So what happens is that every processor gets one piece of your credentials called as your client ID and some authentication, with which they would pass it to the next layer to get a secure token that is valid for that particular session to do the transaction. So that is why, because of this tokenization, all your data, sensitive data for your payment processing can be protected, and it is only uh, uh, valid for that small period of time within which it also minimizes the chances of fraudulence. The next one in this is about address matching. So now with advanced algorithms, a customer's address can also be matched. So it might be your demographic information to your firmographic information to understand by the payment system that if your source and destinations are correct or not. So in turn, if it is not matching, then in some cases your transactions can be denied as well. So for example, in a domestic framework, if you get suddenly a payment request for international money transfer, then it might get rejected as well. So with these five primary facets of security, your payment system has dealt or is dealing your frauds or your security to a very high efficient manner, and this has also reduced fraudulence to a large extent. But still, there has been a lot of changes still going on with the changing dimensions of your fraudulence and your compliance. I would definitely cover whatever would be additionally done in this area as well. Thanks a lot for watching my video, viewers.